Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell work overtime to get taxpayer money to Ukraine. Schumer literally says out loud, we must get money to Ukraine first and worry about the Texas border crisis later. Fani Willis and her lover, Nate Wade, have been secretly dating for much longer than they shared under oath. Biden gets snubbed at the Texas border by the Border Patrol Union president, and you'll never guess where he's going instead. Also, I'll give you an update on the New York trucker strike boycott. New York is in big trouble. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out, so thank you so much. I also want to thank today's sponsor, Ground News, and I'll tell you about them later. Well, it happened. According to a new Gallup poll, immigration is now the #1 concern among American voters. Since last month, immigration went from second place to first, jumping 8 points ahead of other government topics. If the implications aren't clear enough, voters ranked immigration above crime, inflation, healthcare, homelessness, and foreign policy combined. Now, this is probably why Joe Biden and Donald Trump are both headed to the Texas border. However, most people see Biden as going for a photo shoot and Trump going to collect endorsements. Now, this is very telling. The head of the Border Patrol Union in Texas, on the Texas border, has agreed to do a press conference with Donald Trump, but said he doesn't have any time for Joe Biden. When asked, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was tongue-tied and had no answer for why Joe Biden was snubbed. Biden's lawyers and the White House are now pressuring the head of Border Patrol to make time for Joe Biden. But honestly, why would he? Biden has made his life and other Border Patrol members' lives a living hell for the last 3 years. So they're saying, we're going with Donald Trump, not with Joe Biden. Now, with the election now being under a year away, both candidates have announced trips to Texas. While illegal immigration appears to have shifted from the state of Texas over to Arizona due to Governor Greg Abbott increasing security in in Eagle Pass, Texas has suffered with this problem far worse than Arizona. Now, President Joe Biden will travel to Brownsville, Texas, where he will be ignored by Border Patrol agents, and it's believed that he will then try to convince them that their job has gotten harder because of Donald Trump. As for Donald Trump, he will be in Eagle Pass, Texas, where the majority of the problems have happened. I've been reporting on this for several months now. And he will speak on the issue about what he will do to support Border Patrol, defend the United States of America, and end this crisis when he becomes president. Now, if you thought the poll I referenced earlier was crazy, another poll from Monmouth University highlighted that a majority of Americans now support building a wall along the Texas-Arizona border. This is quite literally a historic moment in history because it's the issue that Americans agree on most. We must defend our country and block these invasions that are going on. Even though as of right now, it's still a slim majority, 53% of Americans say illegal immigration is the thing that scares them the most. But don't worry, members of Congress are hard at work to ignore the Texas border crisis and get $60 billion of taxpayer money to Ukraine. America Last Chuck Schumer said the quiet part out loud. He said, we've got to do more for Ukraine now. There are other issues like the border that we should address, but not now. So he wants to get our money, steal our money, and give it to Ukraine, but not give any of that money to the Texas border crisis. He's saying that can wait. Protecting America, that can wait. That's what he's saying, right? Now, let me know in the comments, are you sick and tired of these America Last senators? These Ukraine first, Israel first, Taiwan first members of Congress that steal our hard-earned money only to give it away to other countries and their corporate donors in the military-industrial complex. Literally, we're at war all of the time. America is addicted to war. People die every day using our money, and I'm getting sick and tired of it. All right, now, speaking of unity, The Hill has reported that Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell may end up endorsing Donald Trump. According to sources familiar with the situation, representatives for both leaders are in talks to see if there's a way to remove the division between McConnell and Donald Trump. Earlier this month, Trump seemed to confirm this by stating, "I think Mitch McConnell will want to endorse me. That's what I hear. I have more than half of the Republicans. They've already endorsed me, and the rest are coming." Now, there's bad blood between these two, but you watch. Mitch McConnell will bow down and kiss Trump's ring because at the end of the day, McConnell wants to keep his job. And so he'll sell out his values and his integrity like he has for most of his career. All right, now I have some big stories to share with you, but first a quick word from today's sponsor. Every day, hours and hours of research go into each video that I bring to you. So it's super important to me that I'm getting you the most reliable news sources I can, which is why I'm excited that Ground News has sponsored my video once again. I've been using their app and their website to stay fully informed on the biggest stories coming out each day. Ground News combines articles from all over the world and political spectrum into one place and then helps compare coverage. They also provide context to each source, like where they fall on the political spectrum and even who's funding these news articles. They're independently owned, and I've met their small team, and I really like what they're doing. I love the fact that they don't do any kind of advertising, which means that they're not bought or persuaded or influenced by their sponsors, and they can bring you guys the truth. Now, I want you to check out ground.news/Stephen in the link below to learn more. For example, let's do a search on news for Donald Trump. Did you know that left-leaning publications write more about Donald Trump than right-leaning publications? And the same is true of Biden. The left writes very little about Biden, and the right writes a lot about Biden. Now, Ground News even goes out of their way to highlight stories that are disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum on any given topic. It's crazy how your friends who follow different news sources might be totally clueless on stuff happening on our side, and this is especially true as we head into the upcoming election. Again, go to ground.news/Stephen to check it out. You can try it this month for less than $1 or get 40% off unlimited access. Again, I'll leave a link down below. Now, Special Counsel Jack Smith has responded to Trump's argument that he is being selectively prosecuted for possessing classified documents. Just as a quick reminder, Special Counsel Robert Hur decided not to prosecute Biden for possessing documents due to his mental decline. Now, in response, Donald Trump, Jack Smith actually used Hur's report in an attempt to show the difference between the two cases. According to Jack Smith, Donald Trump's actions were more severe because he resisted efforts by the National Archive to retrieve the documents. Furthermore, Jack Smith claimed that the evidence showcased Donald Trump had intent while Biden did not. Jack Smith can layer as much lipstick on this pig as he wants, but at the end of the day, it's obvious that this is a two-tier justice system where Donald Trump gets punished and Joe Biden gets off scot-free. But I don't know, am I seeing this wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. By the way, Representative James Comer and Jim Jordan have subpoenaed Robert Hur's transcripts of his interview with Joe Biden. They want to showcase to the American people exactly why Mr. Hur labeled Joe Biden a weak old man with a poor memory, unfit to testify before a jury. I look forward to reporting on this. I think it's important for us to know just how bad Joe Biden's dementia really is. All right, now this is horrible news. 2 more minors have been violated by illegal immigrants, according to news sources, and 1 nursing student by the name of Laken Riley has been killed by another. In fact, the coroner's report shows that her skull was bludgeoned to the point of being unrecognizable. All of this was done by illegal immigrants from the country of Venezuela. And now the government has to decide, what do we do with these people? Because Venezuela says, we're not taking any of these people back. Now, if you've paid attention to some of my special guests, Venezuela literally drained their prison system and then sent those people over to Central America so they could sneak into America through the Mexico-Texas border. Super, super sad. All right, Nate Wade's business partner testified today that Fani Willis and Nate Wade have been in a relationship much longer than the couple testified under oath, but didn't have an exact date for the judge. Judge Scott McAfee will make a ruling soon on whether he believes Fani Willis has a conflict of interest or whether she committed ethics violation. However, my guess is she is going to get away with this so that they can continue to persecute and prosecute Donald J. Trump. And this will come because the judge donated to Fani Willis and, in fact, voted for her to be the district attorney in that area. So likely they're going to continue to come after Trump, but when he appeals it, this will be the thing that unravels that case. Now, just last week, I reported that Russia was accusing NATO of having troops on the ground in Russia. Now, French President Emmanuel Macron has claimed that they may send Western soldiers to Ukraine to fight Russia. During a meeting, he stated, "Nothing should be excluded. We will do everything that we can to make sure that Russia does not prevail." Now, recently, a close ally to Putin warned of military conflict between Russia and NATO if troops are sent. So I highly doubt President Macron is serious, but he wants to look tough in the media. But for every world leader, it should be abundantly clear that it is not worth sacrificing your citizens to go to war with Russia. But no one will learn. The whole world's addicted to war. It's disgusting to me. All right, back in Gaza, Hamas has just rejected another peace deal with Israel to exchange hostages. The actual deal that was denied would have resulted in a 6-week pause and roughly 40 hostages exchanged. The deal reportedly failed to meet the demands of Hamas for reasons I'm not aware of, but to date, Hamas still has 134 Israeli hostages. As Biden struggles to get a peace deal in Gaza, Ukrainian President Zelensky has not given up hope that he'll get money from American taxpayers. During an interview with CNN, Zelensky revealed that he had a meeting with Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson. He stated, "So when we spoke to each other, he said that he will do everything to support Ukraine, and he's on our side, and he understands how heroic our people, our soldiers and civilians." He said, "So his faith is with us," and said his prayers are with us too. Now, during the same interview, Zelensky claimed he knows Putin more than Donald Trump does because he's actually fought with him. He stated, "I don't think he understands that Putin will never stop." Despite clearly preferring Joe Biden, Zelensky refused to endorse Joe Biden and said that the American people will have to decide who is becoming president. Now, this is super interesting. He doesn't want to promote Biden, but he doesn't want to talk bad about Trump. Why? Because he knows Donald Trump is going to win the election. While House Speaker Mike Johnson has never voted in favor of sending taxpayer money to Ukraine, he has maintained that he would support Ukraine if he can protect the Texas border. With talks that Biden may be loosening up, I'm hoping that Republicans and Democrats can find common ground and protect the United States border, but I'm not holding my breath because so far it seems like they care more about Ukraine and Israel and illegal immigrants than they do about you and about me. Sadly, a U.S. Air Force member has lit himself on fire outside of the Israeli embassy in order to draw attention to his belief that Israel is committing genocide by killing innocent Palestinians. His final words were, "My name is Aaron Bushnell. I am an active duty member of the U.S. Air Force, and I will no longer be complicit in genocide. I am about to engage in an extreme act of protest, but compared to what people in Palestine have been experiencing at the hands of their colonizers, it's not extreme at all. This is what our ruling class has decided will be normal. Free Palestine." He then dumped gasoline over his head, lit a match, and yelled, "Free Palestine," over and over and over again until he died from the pain of being burned to death. It is extreme. Now, I'm not personally sure how to react to this. It's a horrible situation. I hate that this young man felt that he needed to do this in order to draw attention. I also hate that Israel was attacked, and I also hate that tens of thousands of innocent Palestinians have been killed. It's just disgusting. All right, on the trucker strike boycott in New York, truckers are worried that the government is going to come after their bank accounts. Truckers say they are being pressured now to take loads to New York City. Today, I learned that many truckers see Donald Trump's court fine as an attack on them personally. Here's why. These truckers are independent business owners. They get their trucks based on showing their financials to a bank. They then have to base those loans on what they believe the truck is worth. Well, they're watching what happened to Donald Trump, and they're worried that their financials are going to be taken out of context, just like Donald Trump's were. They're worried that their trucks are going to be undervalued and that it will look like they ripped off the bank, even though the banks determine themselves the worth of these semi-trucks. So they're worried that they are going to be treated like Donald Trump. Now, investors like Grant Cardone of Florida and Kevin O'Leary are now saying they will never do business in New York again. They have no confidence that their businesses won't be harassed and that their financials won't be used against them. So you have many business owners that are extremely nervous doing business in the state of New York, but Governor Kathy Hochul is saying, no, we were just trying to get Donald Trump. I mean, wow, at least she's being honest. This whole thing was about screwing over Donald Trump and keeping him out of the White House. But the American people are seeing this and they are pushing back. Now, this is my update for today. Before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Thank you guys so much for helping get me to 1.5 million amazing truth seekers. It just makes my heart so happy, and I'm going to continue to bring you the truth each and every day. Before you go, make sure to check out this important video or this one. Thanks so much, and I will see you on the next video.